Hi universe, you see me again in 100 Days Live with Sonya. And yes, as usual, I always have the expert to share with you because 100 Days Live with Sonya is the place for the experts to share their experiences and of course their strategies in life and business to reach whatever they want to, whatever their goals are. So today again, we have our European guest, and of course, I keep him wake very late at night because this is midnight in Europe, yes, in UK. So, John Molyneux, I hope that I pronounce your name well or correct.
Yeah, that's fine. Molyneux, Molyneux,
Molyneux,
anything like that.
Molyneux.
That's good.
Which one then? Molyneux, Molyneux.
Well,
And
Molyneux or Molyneux are both okay.
oh, okay. Molyneux then. Sounds sexy then. And then he is an incredible sales samurai. I don't know what kind of sales samurai. Maybe he brings his sword everywhere to close the deal.
Yeah, I'm
And
always. So,
yeah, and he used to be in British Armed Forces, so I don't know how he jumped into, this sales world in the coaching world also with all of his master classes and also high ticket programs to close the deals for the clients, right? And then yeah, of course, when he was in the British Armed Forces, he deal with martial arts also until today. That's why he has a book also, and we will find out further about his book and his steps, also his action, his activities in the samurai programs, right? Okay, John, thank you. Welcome to 100 Days Live with Sonya. I don't know what makes you jump into this program or after we fight about the schedule or something like that.
yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Sonia. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And how did you start it after being in the British Armed Forces and then you decided directly to jump into the samurai? What made
Yeah,
you to choose that kind of decision?
yeah, it wasn't something that I thought, right, I want to be the sales samurai. I'm just going to start
Mm-hmm.
being in sales. It was something that I kind of fell into, really. I did a lot of stuff like a lot of ex-military do, like truck driving. I did a lot of truck driving. I did a lot of security work, like working on nightclubs but as a bouncer and stuff. I did that for a while. But nothing that I really wanted to do seriously or for a career. I couldn't find anything that I wanted to do until
Mm-hmm.
I found martial arts. I was
Mm-hmm.
found an opportunity to be a martial arts instructor. So I
Mm-hmm.
started learning how to teach karate, become a sensei. While I was
Mm-hmm.
doing that, I was also doing door to door for the karate club to build up the
Mm-hmm.
classes. So I was doing door to door sales. So that's kind of how the sales samurai journey began, because I was learning sales while I was becoming a karate instructor at the same time.
Wow. And then how did you manage your time at that time? And then why finally you choose this instead of on the armed forces?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was many years ago. I came out of the army in 2005, and I just decided it wasn't something that I wanted to do
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of my life, really. Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a full career in the army in Britain is 22 years, so I just decided that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Hmm. So at that time, when you started this, is it a good decision? Did you feel that is a good decision that you make to help
What, that I
other
left
people
the
in
army?
sales or? Hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a good decision. I mean, you only have to look at a lot of people. They end up with PTSD, or they lose limbs,
Mm-hmm.
or even the life, don't they? So I do think it was a good decision to leave the army. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, how did you find your client for the first time in this career or in this business as a sales
Well, I
samurai?
mean, Yeah, it took a while. I mean, I did a lot of other things that led to the closing side of things, the high ticket closing side of things. I was
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of affiliate marketing first, so I didn't just
Mm-hmm.
jump from door to door straight into selling high ticket. It was sort of progressive. I did a lot of lead generation and affiliate marketing and cold calling on
Mm-hmm.
telephones and that kind of thing first, and then eventually I started closing for other people. But I realised that I was doing really well at it. So I've not had any issues or problems finding roles since then. It's quite easy for me to find roles where I'm getting commissions for high ticket, but I'm kind of steering in the coaching direction now anyway. So I'm looking at coaching sales teams, doing workshops for actual sales teams, whether they need cold calling it as part of their business or whether
Mm-hmm.
it's just they want the sales team to improve the performances. So yeah, that's the kind of direction I'm heading at the moment, is actually coaching sales teams.
And then, how did you find your clients besides with the affiliate marketing and everything? Because I read in your bio that you use your strategy in self-defense, in martial arts, in karate, and apply it into the samurai. So, what kind of system or method that you use to apply from the, how can we apply the things that we learn in the
Yeah,
martial arts into the samurai?
yeah, that's a good question. What I teach any samurais or people that want to become sales samurais is that you don't necessarily have to be a martial artist, but you want
Mm,
to kind of use the sort of ideas and the principles that you use in martial arts, like discipline
mm,
and perseverance,
discipline.
patience, these kind
Mm,
of things. Because when I was teaching sort of karate with little kids, you
mm,
might have to teach them the same thing over and over again. They might not get it, so you have to teach them the same pattern or the same kata or the same sequence of moves over and over again.
mm,
The same with if you're with a prospect on the telephone, they might not buy straight away. You might have to keep nurturing them and like following up with them and that kind of thing. So you have to have patience there. So another one is repetition. You do a lot of the same kicks or the same punches over and over again. Like with the sales, you do the same scripts over and over again, or the
mm.
same door knocking over again, or bringing the numbers over and over again. So a lot of the things and the ideas cross over from both.
Yeah, it sounds really great. And then, which method that works out? You know what I mean? I know that you test your method, your system first before teaching the others or helping the others in Samurai.
Which method works
Yeah,
best?
before creating what is best? The best formula that you created before having or helping the clients. Because we need to choose the right method, the right system, the right strategies, right, for our clients also that's suitable
Okay,
with
yeah.
this their own business, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it all depends on the business that you're in. I mean, if you're offering sort of coaching or something, I would recommend that you have a good system in place for generating leads, whether that's a funnel, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
a webinars, whatever it is that you use for your lead generation. Make sure you've got a good system in place. But then you also
Mm-hmm.
require a good samurai script. So you want a good sales script.
Mm-hmm.
You want either you want good closing skills yourself, or you want to hire a closer. So there's many different sort of things. But I would be teaching the individual. Like if I think you're a coach yourself, you should have the closing skills yourself, because I think it's
Mm-hmm.
vital that everybody should have them, whether you're an entrepreneur or a business owner or a coach or whatever.
Yes, and then what about your clients? Are they only in UK or they are international clients that you have today?
No, I work with people all over, because I mean my podcast
Mm-hmm.
that seems to be more popular in the US. I've got a lot more listeners in the US and India. The
Oh,
UK is quite low in comparison to some other countries.
and yeah, because of this pandemic, I believe that there are so many people who help you, right? And how many weeks or how many months do you create your program for them? How long do they take your program?
Okay, right. So, well, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, at the moment, what I'm doing
Mm-mm.
is either one on one, or I'm still looking at potentially like a group coaching thing that would be for sort of a month or something. Again, it
Mm-mm.
would all depend on what they need. I mean, the workshops I'm doing for teams, that would just be a workshop, a daily workshop.
Mm-hmm.
But you can book one-on-one coaching sessions with me.
And when it happens, what outcomes do the clients get after joining your program, of
What from
course,
the
John?
from the coaching? Well, again, it would all depend on the
Mm-mm.
situation, whether they're looking to improve their own closing ability, or whether they want to learn how to cold call themselves, or it would all depend on what they're trying to achieve. But I mean, I can get what I say is anything
Mm-mm.
from cold calling to close, and anything in between that. So I used to be able to knock on a door and book an appointment. So I'd book an appointment for in a couple of hours' time, go back and close the sale. So I could go from cold call to close in the space of a few hours.
Wow. So it's been a long journey for you also to do this. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I was doing door to door purely for 5 years. I did
Mm-hmm.
that for 5 years. So I'd say all in all, it's been at least 10 years accumulating all the skills and doing all the bits and bats that have gone together, including the martial arts. The martial arts is probably been maybe even longer.
Mm-hmm. Can you give the example how to offer something to our clients with the right script, or the keywords that I would like to buy something like that, John? Because it's really
Okay, yeah.
a big secret, I know, but then we would like to know the easiest way to close the deal.
Yeah, there's lots of different techniques that you should be
Mm-hmm.
using, but one of them is using the correct words. So, for example, we never use
Mm-hmm.
the word buy or price, or never use, yeah. So instead of those, you use something like investment, or should we say, yeah, offer. Yeah, offer's another word. Don't say deal. Deal's another word that sounds very salesy. So never say deal. Say offer or
Mm-hmm.
negotiation, that kind of thing. So be very kind of careful of the wording that you use. If say, for example, if you offer like a finance, don't say finance. Say support, or funding is a better word. So just make sure you use the correct words that don't sound like the selling words, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, be sort of confident in yourself to move them into a buying decision, because you should know their pain points. Once you get to figure out their pain points and whether you can actually help them, don't think that you can help everybody, because nobody's a one size fits all. So whatever it is you're doing, make sure that you can help them get to that next step and bridge that gap for them. Because if you can't, you need to just say, look, I don't think this is a good fit. I can recommend somebody else, or good looking, or I can head you in the right direction. But if you know that they are a good fit for you, you should have no
Mm-hmm.
issues asking for that deal, or that I just said the deal, but asking for the investment from them. You should have no issues with that, should you?
Oh, thank you so much. We learned so much here. So I hope that everyone are going to contact you when they need, also the confidence to gain the closing. And then how can we reach our confidence, especially when we have a lot of rejection, many of us in the coaching business are not strong enough to face the rejections, while for being successful, then we need to face the rejections also, right?
Yeah, we do. I mean, unfortunately, Sonia, it's not something that's an easy fix. It's not something you can click
Mm-mm.
your fingers or even study about. It's something that you just literally have to do. It's one of them kind of, when you say feel the pain and do it anyway. That's exactly what
Mm-hmm.
it is. I knocked on that many
Mm-hmm.
doors and had that many doors shut in my face and had that many phones hung up on me. No, it just doesn't affect me. So what I say is, whenever you hear that word no, don't think of it as a no or a rejection, or
Mhm.
it's not a personal
Mhm.
attack on you. They're just not ready to
Mhm.
move forward. They just don't need that product. So the more times you hear that no, the closer you are to a yes. So just think of a no. Lots of little no's become one big yes.
Wow, that's the key. So, wow, John, it's a lot of knowledge that we gain from you this morning. And then about your book, how did you write your book? Why did you decide to write your book?
Well, that's a good question because I was thinking about it for many years. I think I'm thinking about it for at least 3 or 4 years. And it's one of those
Mm-hmm.
things. I mean, everybody wants to write a book, don't they? Or lots of people want to write them, but
Mm-hmm.
it is an
True.
easy thing to procrastinate or put off because you think of it as this huge thing that's so difficult to do, and there's lots of things that put you off it. But what I actually did was I got a lot of advice off people, and one of the things was to write down all the chapters and the titles of the chapters before you actually write the book.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I did, and also have a North Star. This was another author that recommended that to me, to have a North Star. So that's like a finish line. So you write the very last sentence of the book, and then you have that
Mm-hmm.
to aim for. So those are the few things that I did. And once I actually sat down and started writing it, and I just did a rough draft first in pen and paper, and then I just sat down and
Mm-hmm.
started typing it. It only took about a month to do it. So it was the worst part of it was thinking about it, and once I actually sat and started it was much easier. And then I just had help with the actual publishing side of things and the editing and that kind of thing.
Wow, yes. And then how can the clients or our viewers today find your book?
Yeah, the book is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle. So if you just search
Mm-hmm.
Sales Samurai Master, it comes straight up.
And don't forget to put the links in the comments after we finish our interview today. I mean, our show today, so that the people can click it easily. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Good stuff.
And do you have any exploration session or something when the people reach you out for your help?
So an explanation session. Well, no. What I do offer is kind of a strategy session. If you do feel like you'd like to work with
Mm-hmm.
me, what I would do is sit down with you for an hour and explain what would be involved with working with me. I'd look at your business model, what you sell, how you're performing, what you'd like to achieve, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, and we'd sit down and put everything in its place and just kind of see if it would work for both of us to work together. So yeah, that would be how we could move forward in that respect.
Yes, and then if it happens that they need you more, do you have any further programs after they finish their program? And how long does it take until they get their results in sales or improvement in their business?
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. I don't like I said. It would be either the one-on-one coaching or potentially the group
Mm-hmm.
coaching. But at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, I'm just offering one-on-one. And it takes as long as it takes. It depends on the individual. I can't say after 4 or 5 one-on-one sessions with me, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
have mastered it. It's a progressive thing with sales, and it would all depend on how long it takes me to build your confidence with you and stuff like that. What I do offer that's quite unique is if somebody wants to improve their cold calling for their business, I will actually cold call for you for a while to help you get used to it. Have you
Mm-hmm.
cold or like have you with me on, or I'll have you while
Mm-hmm.
making calls for you so you can get a feel for it and kind of get used to it
Mm-hmm.
that way. Same with closing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have your own offer or something and you got like a 5K package or something and you're unsure about how to close, I will do
Mm-hmm.
some closing on your behalf, and then we can kind of, so that would be part of what I offer as coaching as well.
And John, when most coaches disagree about coach calling, why do you teach coach calling or yeah, also like encourage your clients to do the cold calling then?
Sorry, can you just repeat that question?
I mean, there are so many codes that against cold calling system or method to approach the
Mm.
clients, right? And then you do the opposite way, and then you have your clients by teaching them or train them or lead them to do the cold callings as your strategy or also your method or your system. And how can you do that?
Yeah, well, everybody does. A lot of people do kind of stay away from the idea of cold calling. It's not something everybody's comfortable
Mm-mm.
with doing, but it's still
Yeah.
such a really effective way of finding new business, especially if you don't have
Mm.
a big budget for marketing and that kind of thing. If you can pick the phone up and dial, it's very kind of low cost, isn't it? So it's very efficient for your
Mm-hmm.
business. But yeah, I like that's why I kind of say not only will I teach you the strategies and the techniques and stuff to be a cold caller, I will actually do it with you and on your behalf to get you more confident and sort of ease you into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I understand. And then what about it seems that you have a real or special needs for or market for your clients, right? Where do you find them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, again, I've got a few different avenues. I mean, I do live
Mm-mm.
streaming like you do. I
Mm-hmm.
live stream to LinkedIn, so that's a good platform to find people, isn't it? Potential clients and
Mm-hmm.
prospects. So that's one avenue. I've got my own podcast as well, so that's available on all the
Mm-hmm.
platforms. That's another way.
Mm-hmm.
Like word of mouth, people. That's another good. If people know you or they've with you before, referrals is a big part of being a salesperson, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really again amazing and interesting for me to do what other people do not do, right? With the cold calling, and you find it works out. Only people need to try the method nowadays, right? Because yeah, they are everywhere also, and then you have a lot of channels to do that, and including the live streaming. And then you mentioned that you do your podcast also in live streaming and you live stream your
Yeah,
podcast, I mean. And then how is the
that's,
results today? It is a great method
that's
actually, and I watched Ross brand program last week about it, that you can live stream your podcast also. This is one of the strategies to reach your market or to reach your needs, right?
yeah. I mean, I only just started doing it recently. Up until recently, I was
Mm-hmm.
just purely recording Zoom interviews and then changing the files into MP3 and then uploading to the podcast. But what I realized is that it was probably more effective to. I got accepted for LinkedIn Live about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I have a
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel as well. So I thought, well, if I can live stream it to all my other, like my Facebook group is called. I have a free Facebook group called Cold Calling and Closing Master as well, which is the same name as the podcast. So I now I live stream
Mm-hmm.
to the Facebook group, YouTube, and LinkedIn all at the same time, and then I just use the files from the YouTube, the audio file, and then it goes straight to the podcast platforms as well. So it just gives me a wider audience than just using the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really great. I mean, the strategies that you take also. And then what are your goals this year for your life and business?
My goals this year, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got quite a few. I've got a few kind of projects that are in the pipeline. I'm spending a lot of time on
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse, so I've got strategies. I
Wow.
host a lot of sales rooms in I've got a Tuesday sales room, which is closing high ticket deals on the phone. Then I have like a sales samurai session on a Thursday. I'm also thinking about doing like a mindset in the mornings, so like 10 a.m. That would be UK time, unfortunately. So you'd probably still be in bed, you
Mm,
guys over there. I'm looking at doing a mindset one as well. But also, I want to keep growing my podcast. My podcast is steadily growing quite rapidly now. So I want to keep growing. Um, there's quite a lot of things that I'd like to do. I also want to get kind of more, should we say, in the book, which is why I like to do events like this. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of things that I want to do this year.
Yeah, and then what is the main goal? I mean, from all of those goals, which one that you want to reach first for the short term? Because it looks like
Oh,
all is for the long term, you know.
yeah, I mean it's tricky to sort of pinpoint one area because I've got so many things going on.
Mm.
It's hard to say my biggest goal
Wow.
is this. But yeah, just to be a successful coach and help as many people as I can, and sort of
Mm-hmm.
should we say create more samurais, build my brand, become the sales samurai, and make sure so that everybody knows me, and I can
Yeah.
help as many people become sales samurais as I can. So that's probably the biggest goal.
Wow. I believe that you will reach a lot with all of the channels that you make, you know, because you reach more people in the whole world to reach you out. And what is your message for our viewers today? I thank you for Jesse Guthrie also who joined us this morning, and Stephen A. Kaplan also. And yeah, Jesse will be our speaker also, and Stephen has been in our program last year in 100 Days Live with Sonya. So, do you have any messages for our viewers today and also the next day and tomorrow and in the future? We'll watch this.
Yeah, I mean, what I say quite often is you can be your best friend or your own worst enemy. You need to choose because um, it can happen. It happens to us all. We all tell ourselves that we're not good enough, or you can't do this, you can't do that. You just need to be your
Mhm.
own best friend and tell yourself you can achieve these things, or you can start that side hustle, or you can run your own business, or you can become a speaker, or whatever it is that you're interested in doing. Don't tell yourself that you can't do it. Just be good to yourself.
Mhm. Wow, thank you so much for that. And then, yeah, do not forget to put your link in the comments after this show so that the people can click it easily. And I really thank you. I will not keep you long because I know it is your midnight there, and I know it is your Sunday, and you will pay your sleep. And I really thank you, and I feel honored that you come to 100 Days Live with Sonya. John,
It's been a
thank you
pleasure
so
for me.
much for being here today. And yes, for the book, do we have any discount or something? I mean, our viewers in Amazon, how
Yeah,
can they get the best price of it?
the, well, to be honest with you, the book is still kind of very sort of discounted anyway at the moment. It's only I
Oh,
think it's only like a couple of dollars on Kindle
yeah.
anyway. But the paperback
Oh,
is
it's in
about
Kindle, yes.
the paperback is about $12, I think. So it's still quite
Mm-mm,
reasonable
mm-mm.
anyway. So
Yeah, I encourage everyone who watch this show to buy the book, okay? Or you have to say
it's
it
full
by
of
yourself.
value.
You are a self samurai. How you ask the people to buy the book? Then you have to give us the example again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's only relatively small. It's not a big book. I didn't want it to be too long to read. It's quite short. You could probably get through it in a couple of days, but it's packed full of value. Whether you're a beginner in sales or whether you're a seasoned salesperson or anything in between, you're going to get plenty of value from it, and will start to turn you into a sales samurai.
Thank you so much, John, for your time today. And if you love 100 Days Live with Sonya, do not forget to register to our coaching universe.anitasonya.com, our coaching universe.anitasonya.com. And I thank all of our sponsors and our speakers to help and support this event to be a successful event, the world class event. And I guess I already put in the Facebook if you haven't reached me out yet that in June I'm going to make the world summit for live streamers, you know, and then it will be in the 1st until the 5th of June. 2021. So if you would like to sponsor us or become the speakers, please comment, and then I'm going to open the registration this week. Once more, John, thank you so much. And our livestreamuniverse.com will become our main sponsor. And I'll see you. Bye bye.
Very much. Good night. Bye.